Jai Hind दोस्तों, good evening to everyone and welcome to the channel UPSC NDA CDS Success Forum. Today in this short video, we are going to discuss about the very important day in the history of India, that is 14th August 1947. Now recently, the Prime Minister of India has declared 14th August shall be celebrated as the Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. Probably you must be taken aback why the Prime Minister has taken such a decision that 14th August shall be remembered as the Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. As we know that the Britishers, they ruled the country more than 150 years, rather more than 200 years. But when they left the country was divided into two dominion states, that is India and Pakistan. But when this country it was divided into two dominion states, the lots of people, the lakhs and lakhs of people, rather the millions of people, they had to suffer a lot. This suffering should be remembered. The history, when we recollect the pages of the history, when we turn the pages of the history, now the question comes, why should we turn the pages of the history? We remember the history because it shouldn't be repeated in future. We should learn a lesson from the history. And 14th August, it is being remembered as the Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. Now, why it is called as the Partition Horrors Remembrance Day? Let's proceed. Partition pains can never be forgotten. Now, what the Prime Minister has said. Partition pains can never be forgotten. Millions of our sisters and brothers were displaced, and many lost their lives due to mindless hate and violence. May the Partition Horrors Remembrance Day keep reminding us of the need to remove the poison of social divisions, disharmony, and further strengthen the spirit of oneness, harmony, and human empowerment. The 14th August witnessed the lot of massacre, the displacement of the people from one nation to another, and as a result of which the innocent people, the common man, they were all displaced of their houses. The women suffered, the old people suffered. What Amisha has commented on it, I am sure it will strengthen peace, love and unity by eliminating the ill will of discrimination and malice. This 14th day, 14th August, every year it will be celebrated, rather it will be remembered, it won't be celebrated, it would be a remembrance of the horrors that the people they had to undergo. What were the horrors? How they suffered, that we should remember. The generations and generations, they should know what were the pangs of the partition. You know, when the struggle for the freedom, it was carried out by the Indian National Congress, the leaders of the Congress, the revolutionaries, the social reformers, they never expected that at the end the country would be divided into two. But we had to accept the division of the country. But it created a lot of ill will among each other. That ill will has to be eliminated. The unity and integrity of the country must be maintained. Now if you look at this picture, we find Barrister Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Jawaharlal Nehru, Lord Mountbatten. They were the one. Lord Mountbatten, who was the last British Governor General of India and the first Governor General of Free India. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru being the first Prime Minister of India, Barrister Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And when the Mountbatten Plan it was announced, it was categorically mentioned that those who want to join with Pakistan, they are free to join. Those who want to remain with India, they are free to remain here. But again, the ill will, it created a lot of feeling among the people and the massacre occurred. Why the partition? Now, The question may come to your mind why the partition took place. In fact, the seeds of the partition were laid down or sown when the Muslim League it was formed in the year 1906, and thereafter the great day, what we call it as the on 16th August 1946, on 16th August 1946, the slogan was given by Muslim League, Ladke Lenge Pakistan, Ladke Lenge Pakistan. And from that period, the hatred or the ill will it created among the people of the two countries, and as a result of which the India was divided into two. And basically the most important factor that was responsible for the partition of the country was two nation theory. Now what exactly is the two nation theory? The two nation theory stated that Hindus and Muslims in India are two distinct communities. That means the countries must be divided on the basis of the religion. That could not exist within a single state without dominating and discriminating against the other, without constant conflict. If at all these two nations they remain together, there would be frequent conflicts, and we don't want frequent conflicts in future. That is the reason demand was made that we must be separated, a separate nation should be formed. It was the principal reason that led to the partition of India in 1947. The state of India officially rejected the two nation theory and chose to be a secular state. India declared herself as a secular state, enshrining the concept of religious pluralism and composite nationalism in its constitution. So we, in the preamble of the Indian Constitution, that we have said, we have categorically stated that we are the secular state. But basically, the two nation theory that was given by Barrister Muhammad Ali Jinnah ultimately led to the partition of India. So hence, India was partitioned. Pakistan celebrates its Independence Day on 14th August. India celebrates on 15th of August. But 14th of August, the people of both the countries, they witnessed the horrors like anything. That is why the Prime Minister of India has declared that 14th August shall be celebrated as the Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. Understand it? 14th August is being observed. It's not going to be the celebration. It is being the observation, paying tribute to the people, those who lost their lives. So Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. Now you could see all is in these photographs, the way the people suffered, what are the pangs of the life they had to suffer, and this, the future generation, the generations to come ahead, they should remember all these things, right? And what are the effects of the hatred, ill will against each other, and if at all we keep on fighting in the name of the religion, there won't be any end, and ultimately it is the common man who suffers, the man in the street, he suffers. The crowded trains, and with all the dead bodies, they used to come from one end to another, right? Thanks dear for watching this small video. At least you will remember to the generations to come that 14th August is being observed as the Remembrance or the Horror Remembrance Day. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks.